Middletown prides itself on schools, public library, and supportive community culture. Middletown's Dietrich Park splash pad, walking trails, and baseball and softball diamonds are a popular recreation venue. BCW helps collectors secure, organize, and fully enjoy their collectibles, keeping them protected and valued for years to come. For over 40 years, BCW has specialized in accessories to safeguard trading cards, comics, coins, and vinyl records. Marty Dulworth, RE/MAX Real Estate Solutions, is a full-time realtor helping individuals in East Central Indiana navigate the real estate market through the home buying and/or selling process. Marty Dulworth, RE/MAX Real Estate Solutions, is proud to support programs on Ball State PBS.
Now Entering Middletown is presented by Marty Dulworth RE/MAX Real Estate Solutions, BCW Supplies, Individual Support Services, Town of Middletown, and Ballard & Sons Funeral Home. With additional support from Kiesling Farms, Tanya Bennett State Farm, Indiana Municipal Power Agency, John Rhodes Realty, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, First Merchants Bank, and Middletown Fall Creek Historical Society. Located in Henry County, Middletown strives to preserve its rich heritage while embracing economic development and community initiatives. Halfway between Newcastle and Anderson, Middletown offers its residents a peaceful atmosphere where they can relax and enjoy a small-town feel with plenty of amenities. From its rich history to its strong community spirit and vibrant community events, there is something for everyone to enjoy in this quaint town.
Hi, I'm Dave Wagner, Town Council President, and you are now entering Middletown.
My name is Chris Harder. I'm one of the owners and former manager now. I'm in charge of wholesale and distribution at Belgian Horse Winery. This was kind of my dad's dream, really. When we initially started, I kind of thought he was crazy, you know, dumping a ton of money into this old farm and then expecting people to come and, you know, travel all the way out there into the middle of nowhere and spend their money. But after a few years of working on it, took us about 10 years to get it open. After a few years of him putting his nose down, I realized that he's not backing down, and we should probably, I should probably join and see what happens, and I'm really glad I did. We got the name Belgian Horse Winery from my great-grandpa. He bred Belgian horses, and we won a couple world championships in heavy pulling. We set a couple world records with our horses. So back in the early 40s, we had some of the world's strongest horses on our farm. So everything from our logo to the labels, pictures on our walls, the history, our website, everything is a tribute to the history that's happened there at the property. We bought the farm from my grandma back in about 2005, 2006, and my grandpa had already passed away at that point. My great-grandparents, they were already gone. So my grandma, Janet's still around, and she's seen it. She really likes the soups and the breadsticks that we offer. So our winery is a gathering place, you know, weddings, engagement parties, general bachelorette, you know, experiences. We've had a lot of different things. We've had a hippie festival. We've had a hot air balloon festival. That was one of my favorite things we've ever done. We have concerts year-round that are really great for full families. Bring football, blankets, and have a good time while there's a concert going on. Since we've started live music and concerts in general, we've developed a lot of regulars that come every week, and they've become really close with us. We offer wine tastings, wine by the glass, by the bottle. We have a great craft beer list. We've got great food. Why would you come to a winery is what I would ask. You know, rather than just getting your wine at Walmart or Meyer or wherever, you come to have an interaction with the bartender, to do a wine tasting, to taste something specific from this area maybe. Maybe to find out something special, the story behind the wine, or maybe even how the wine flavor became a possibility. We make everything in-house. I've got a great winemaker. We actually won Fruit Wine of the Year last year at the State Fair. Our blackberry is excellent. All of our All of our fruit labels have a past family member of ours on them that have a little story that tells who they are, how they were involved in the family and the history of the farm. So that's something I'm really proud of. So one of my favorite things about being located in Middletown is actually where the farm is. I'm the 6th generation to live on that farm. It's been in my family since 1836, so I grew up a mile away. I feel when I'm there, I'm at home, and I've always felt that way. It's just a place that I'm really connected to. The winery definitely brings people to Middletown. We're doing a lot more volume than I ever anticipated. One of my things I'm focusing on this year specifically is distribution and getting our wine out into different restaurants and breweries that we like to partner with. Our fruit wines are really great. They taste like the fruit that it's intended to be, rather than like a medicine type taste or like an artificial sugar type taste. Our winemaker just does an excellent job. My favorite thing about the whole winemaking experience and winery experience is seeing our products in other parts of the world. I've seen our wine in Australia, in Spain, in New Zealand, all different countries. So the level of success the winery has seen has been great. It's been far past what we initially thought when we opened up. We kind of thought it was going to be a casual Sunday, people would stroll in, and when we opened, we found out that it was way more than that. So my favorite thing about being involved in our community and in the winery is the way that we've been able to give back. I really try to give money directly to coaches, teachers, organizations, not just in general funds, but it's allowed us really to impact our community very directly, and that's something that I'm really grateful for. We host the staff appreciation banquet for Shenandoah. It's allowed us to host fundraising events and just in general become a cornerstone in Middletown.
My name is Philip Rogers, and for 40 years I was the pastor of the Middletown Church of the Nazarene, now retired. I came to Middletown in 1978, fresh out of school, and a little church here invited me to come and be their pastor. And my first introduction to Middletown was just a few weeks after the blizzard of 1978. Came into town and everything was filled with snow yet, and I thought to myself, this is a no-place town and a no-place place. Why would I ever want to come here? But the little church invited me to come to be their pastor. A few months later, I moved here. Came into town right after Memorial Day. First thing that happens in Middletown in the summer is the Lions Club Parade. That was my first introduction to a Middletown event. Watched the parade go by, and there it was, just a little town parade. And I thought to myself, you know what I think I'll do? I'll come and I'll be here for a few years, then I'll move to a real church in a real town. 40 years later, I'm still here. Well, let me just tell you, the church started out a little old church on the 7th and Columbia in Middletown. And about 6 years later, we were able to relocate to its present location on northeast end of town. We now have about 20 acres and have developed quite a nice facility over many years. And God has blessed us to be able to do ministry as all churches hope to be able to do. But one of the questions I always, as pastor, was trying to ask, and the church was asking is, we've got all of this. How can we use this to serve our community? Yes, we want to serve the Lord, but the way we serve the Lord is to also be accessible and available to our community. One of the ways that we did that early on is we began the ARC daycare and preschool ministry that has grown now to where 150 to 200 children are a part of that ministry, using a big part of the facility. We try our best to offer what we hope is affordable child care and educational opportunities for the families of this community. We have said to our community, you can use this if you need to. One of the ways that this has happened, the school actually uses our sanctuary, which can seat about 1,000 people if you really cram people in there. The band have their concerts there often and things like that because that's good acoustics. We're a voting center. The homeschooling group uses our building. Bible Study Fellowship uses our building. Boy Scouts are chartered through our church. You know, that parade that I always said I didn't like? Well, Now that parade stages itself on our church parking lot, and I have often been a part of that parade. I just love that part of the town. It's exciting to see a part of that and throw candy at people and all that kind of stuff as well. One of the events that we have developed a tradition over the years that I am really proud of is our annual Trunk or Treat. Trunk or Treat is our Halloween event in which we line up trunks in our parking lot, and people in our church will come, or people in the community actually come and participate, and they will decorate their trunks. They'll come in costume, and the people will go through and they can get their candy. Our Trunk or Treat is probably one of the biggest ones in the area. We will regularly have well over 1,000, close to 2,000 children and families come through. And often we will add other events that go along with it. It becomes almost a carnival. There's just a lot of things that we've tried to do, saying this facility, this church is here to serve our community. And I think Middletown understands that. I think it's somewhat special for a community our size to be able to be an asset in the way that we are. We have a bigger role to play in our town than probably the largest church in Anderson has to play in its town, as being a center of where the community lies. It's just my town, and it's my people, and I know them, they know me, and we're there for each other. When I have to call for the ambulance to come, it's my neighbors that come. When the fire department comes, it's people that are part of my church and people that I know and love that are there to help me. It's not strangers. If I go to the town board meeting, people know me by name. It's just that kind of community. I love Middletown because it's my town. It's where I've chosen to live my life. And I am sure I could go someplace else and love them too, but I don't have to.
I'm Brianna Chapman, and I'm president of Middletown Main Street.
And I'm Abigail Karras, and I'm secretary of Middletown Main Street.
Middletown Main Street was formed in August of 2023, and we are wanting to improve downtown Middletown. We're focusing on beautifying the downtown, bringing economic vitality back to our downtown. So Indiana has a program called Indiana Main Street, and it's operated through Okra. And we were certified through the program in February of 2024. They kind of help us facilitate through a 4-step program to bring economic vitality to Middletown. So I moved to Middletown in 2009. I married a man who lived here, and he farms here, so we moved here to raise our family. I started a business here in Middletown in 2010. I wanted to stay because of the community. We have a big extended family here. I love the energy of the people.
We were looking for kind of a smaller community, and I personally love Middletown because it is the middle town between Anderson, Muncie, and Newcastle. There was just a big sense of community from the minute I stepped here.
The family feel that you get here, you don't get it very often. That small town feel, and when they truly talk about that, you can feel it.
So we're working on a grant through Okra to get a downtown revitalization plan funded. We hope that that will kind of propel us into some improvements here in downtown, specifically with our historic buildings, bringing them back up to life, making them a place where businesses would want to be.
Middletown is special because, the history here, we're sitting in a room full of history, and if people didn't think about saving that, we wouldn't be able to share that with our kids. The roots and the feeling of trusting that their kids are safe, that's the stuff that you really, really want to make sure that you have at a community like this. Why not build around it?
We're looking for the revitalization of Middletown to start happening with its people. Seeing opportunities for new businesses and jobs, looking for those innovations that happen where people kind of can express themselves and be creative and have some of those spaces that people share, whether it's gardens and other beautification type efforts, and also seeing a growth in more small families, just to watch some of that happening as well, where we're getting new blood in town and more young families being active and doing things in town and downtown as well.
I had seen other communities around us with a Main Street program. I had worked with one in another town, kind of on the sidelines, and I saw what it could do. I was impressed, and so I set about putting this together for Middletown because I wanted to see those improvements here in Middletown.
There was a Middletown Fun Festival committee, and there was planning committee. Once we all started coming together in the same room, that's when things started happening. The town council is getting information from these meetings that, hey, this is our plan. We have this revitalization plan that we're about ready to put together, and we want everyone to be a part of it. And so by having everyone together, you can just see us start taking off.
I think the future of Middletown is more of a younger family vibe. I want it to stay small, I want it to stay cozy, but I want it to be a place for entrepreneurs who see that as the best place for their business to find us. We protect that small community, but we have everything here that we need, and we can walk around and be here in our little Middletown, having this small town life with all the amenities that we want.
I also see it expanding to a form of almost creative hospitality as well. We have a wonderful sister organization that's called the Middletown Planning Committee, and they come up with these really wonderful events that we have, whether it's festivals and parades and really exciting things that happen kind of seasonally throughout the year. It's kind of created in Middletown a space for people to come together and meet in the middle.
How I see Main Street contributing to the growth of Middletown is, again, to make sure that everybody has a voice for the plan going forward. Brianna asked me a question when we first started Main Street is, where do you see this being in 20 years? How often do we ever think about 20 years ahead? Not very often. Somebody has. And to have the growth is, what's that first next step? And then how do we push that rock up that mountain to be able to see it in 20 years? When our kids come back, did we accomplish what our plan was? And the growth is getting everyone to push together, because then we can build that pyramid.
My name is Teresa Dennis. I'm director of the Middletown Fall Creek Township Public Library, and I'm here to talk about the wonderful place that the library is. Well, I've been working at the library since 2005. I've been director since 2007. Middletown has always had a library, but the first library in 1928 was above the Farmers Bank in downtown. Our building was built in 1989 through the generosity of the Byron and Halcyon Post estate. Two local families also helped us generously and continuously. That would be Bob and Jean Weishart and Rex and June Slick. Both supported the library, and we appreciate them greatly. When someone first walks into the library, we want to have a very welcoming feeling, and that's what we hear. It's that we are friendly and that we're helpful. You know, as a library, we have all the regular things besides books and DVDs and magazines for checkouts. We have computers that you can use. We can have laptops that you can borrow. We're a member of the Evergreen Consortium. It's more than 130 libraries in Indiana. And what's wonderful about Evergreen is that it's a possibility for resource sharing. That means if the 7th book in the series that you're currently reading we don't have, we can get it from another library in the consortium and sent to us in about a week at no charge. So come to the library and check out, I am not kidding, up to 100 books for free. In 2019, we got a grant to buy new furniture, about $25,000 worth of furniture. This is for the general area. So we thought that people could come in and study or chill. You could have an interview, you could have a club, you could have a meeting there in the common area. And then after that was completed, we started working on a teen room, and it is fabulous. We have 5 gaming computers, very high speed. We have a teen librarian, Lee Cannon, who is on fire for kids, and she's got a whole raft of activities every month. Everything from crafts to board games to Dungeons and Dragons, you name it, she's got it. We have a program just for to encourage reading to kids before they start school. It's called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. 1,000 books sounds daunting. It doesn't have to be library books either. Your books at home. So if you read Cat in the Hat 50 times, that counts as 50 books. And we incentivize the program. We have stickers. We put the child's picture on a big display, and then you can see the stickers go up as by hundreds. And then when they reach that magic number, the 1,000, their picture gets moved to the success boards. We did it, but at the end, then their name and picture appears in the local paper, and the parents and grandparents love that. In 2009, we constructed, with a lot of help, a nature trail. It surrounds the whole library, and we are certified wildlife habitat and monarch way station. Part of our nature trail and area is a sensory guard for children. Lily the library frog figurine is in there on her rock lily pad, surrounded by lamb's ear, which is a really soft plant. Our summer reading program and our winter reading programs are both very popular, and we build them from the ground up. We pick a theme, and then the decorations, the contests, the prizes, they all go along with that. We have an Agatha Christie book club. We have a knitting and crochet club. We have a seed library that kind of goes along with our nature trail there. Not only do we collect seeds from the plants around the library, but we have people bring in seeds to share that way. We have great plans for the future. We're now looking at the children's room. The children's room was added to the library in 2000, and it's great, but it is 25 years old. So we're working on getting a grant, and we have plans to to make it come alive for a new generation. I love Middletown because of the wonderful spirit that is here. That may sound kind of flat, but there's a wonderful feeling of community, and it's the best place. I love it.
My name is Norman Day. I live here in Middletown, Indiana, and I work at the filling station, which is a big part of my life, and I just want to keep it going. I've lived in Middletown my whole life. I was born here in Middletown, and then my folks bought the filling station, and then I started working there evenings and weekends and things like that. I got started after I got my driver's license. I understood cars and motors and stuff, and I built my own engines, and every time somebody come over, they'd say, "You all go to drag strip. Your car's extra fast." And finally, they talked me into it, and I went to the drag strip, and that's how it all got started. I was about 16, 18 years old when I started on the street, but when I turned professional, I was in my mid-20s. When I was racing, some of the sponsors wanted me to move to New York or someplace where I could get more coverage, and I never left. I'm still here. I've had 4 or 5 accidents in my career, but I had one big one where the engine exploded at roughly about 300 miles an hour, and the car went barrel rolling down the track. But luckily it lit on its wheels, because the cars, they've got a safety escape hatch built in the top of them. And when it lit on its wheels, the safety crew down at the end of the track was able to reach in and pull me out. Basically, when I undone the seat belt and I couldn't get loose because it was so hot, the seat belt melded to my fire suit and I couldn't get loose. And then I felt these hands, I seen these hands reach in through the top and grab a hold of me. And I just screamed real loud and jumped up, and they pulled, and I got out. I called the place that made the fire suits, and I had this one on order. And I told them, I said, I'm traveling so much and doing so much racing. I said, I need that fire suit. I just don't feel comfortable. So they put me at the top of the list, and they got it to me in about a week instead of a couple of months. I had it on, and then it burnt through 2 or 3 layers of it. So they took that fire suit back to the factory and redesigned all their fire suits from the one that I got burned in. It laid me up for about a month and took me a few weeks to put a new car together. But I was back on the circuit. I was back out within about 4 to 5 weeks, yeah. And then I raced for another 2, 3, maybe 4 years after that before I finally retired. But I always returned to the service station. The station's been in the family for right about 80 years. And I've been there roughly about 72 or 74 years myself. And my folks had it for years. And then my dad passed away. And then a few years later, I bought my mother out, and she passed away. So it's all mine. So the one guy that works for me, Don Kaiser, he's been with me for about 15 or 18 years. And if anything happens to me, he gets the station. It was built in the late 1800s. When my folks took the station over, there was 12 in Middletown, and we're the only one still going. I try to keep it as old-fashioned looking as we can, but able to take care of the modern cars. One of the things is the gas pumps. We have the late model internals put in it, but the shell and everything is still from the 50s. Cars has been my whole life, and I think that's why I'm still working there. If I would retire from there, I don't know what I would do. I meet a lot of interesting people, so I'll just stay there as long as the good Lord keeps me healthy. I like Middletown because I was born here. I know so many people here. We don't have a lot of the troubles and things that the bigger towns have got, and they keep the town up real well. I'm happy here. I have no interest in moving.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the latest episode of Ball State PBS's Now Entering series as we visit Middletown, Indiana. Hi, I'm Brandon Smith with my co-host for the evening, Michelle Kinsey. We are so happy you are with us this evening.
The Now Entering series is unique. It's a documentary project where your friends and neighbors become the filmmakers to tell the story of your town, capturing what makes Middletown special. We met some incredible people and heard some wonderful stories while taping the storyteller interviews you are seeing tonight.
We know that you are loving this program, and there's more to come. If you know someone from Middletown who's moved away, let them know that they can go to ballstatepbs.org and watch the live stream right now. You can also watch us on the Ball State PBS Facebook page. And don't forget, you can leave us a message using hashtag NE Middletown.
You're going to want to tell people about this last story we just saw. I'm still reeling from it. What an amazing story. Ball State PBS is all about connecting with local communities and bringing you the best in programming, arts, history, science, and news, as well as providing community engagement and educational experiences. Why not take this opportunity to become a member tonight and support Now Entering Middletown and all of the exceptional programming that sets Ball State PBS apart? Call 1-800-252-9472 or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
We'd love to thank you on the air tonight, and operators are standing by to take your call. If you're not a member of Ball State PBS yet, now is the time to pick up the phone and call these folks right back here at 1-800-252-9472 or go to ballstatepbs.org and show your commitment to excellent public television that only Ball State PBS can bring you.
Now, let's get back to Now Entering Middletown.
Hi, my name is Landon Dean. I'm the police chief here in Middletown. I'm here to talk about the Middletown Police Department and having the opportunity to be the Middletown Police Chief. I have not been in this title for very long, just since March of 2023. However, I was a police officer for 34 years in this county. And I retired in 2023, and I was elated when Middletown Town Council asked me to be their chief. Of course, everybody knew it was my first day, but I couldn't believe the hospitality and how nice everybody was and the reception that I've got, because, in some communities, the police aren't that great, in their opinion, but here, that was just the opposite. Even though I'd worked with every police chief in the last 30 years here from a different agency, I didn't really know what to expect, because in my new role as police chief, I wanted to do everything right, of course. So with the blessing of the town council, they allowed me to build a whole new team. We were able to pick some local people and some brand new people, and a couple of the people that were at the previous police department stayed on, and we were able to build a whole new platform on how the police department works. I want people to feel, I don't want them to say it, but I want them to feel safe, secure, and I want them to have fun at the same time. I wanted them to trust us, and I thought of a couple concepts that I had always known about in law enforcement, and one of them was that the best police departments, especially in small communities, are when the police and the community come together and they help each other, because in Middletown we have one officer on duty at a time, and it's impossible for that police officer to be everywhere at the same time. And so I reached out and I made it very clear that we wanted their help and we wanted them to be part of the team. I wanted to start community policing, and so we put some programs together like bicycle patrol, foot patrols, which was unheard of. We started a Citizens Police Academy. We've taught 3 of them now, and the folks in Middletown just love it. I'm hoping to teach more and get more people involved. And the next goal is to create a very active crime prevention association. And these Citizen Police Academies is kind of the foundation for that. But I will tell you that just from the Citizens Academies we've had so far, we have solved so many different crimes, and some serious, one very serious, and a lot of little things, because the community knows they can call us. My first few patrols, I would wave to people, and people were almost afraid to wave back. And I'm proud to say now that after a year and a half and building the right team with the right town council, that when we drive around, they don't only wave, they yell out our names. From day one, people have had great hospitality, and now a year and a half later, it feels good to come to work. And you drive around and you talk to people, and you just don't consider them the people that you're making safe and secure. They're your friends. I've made a lot of friends. I love Middletown because of the people, and I know that may sound a little corny, but it didn't take long when I came here to figure out how great the people were. Some people think this is maybe the Mayberry effect, and you know what? It kind of is, and I like that. People sometimes call me Andy Griffith, and that's fine with me.
My name is Ron Coons. I am the IMPA Commissioner, that's Indiana Municipal Power Agency, for the town of Middletown. The previous commissioner decided it was time to move on. I went to the president of the town board immediately and said I would love to get involved in that. The Indiana Municipal Power Agency, they provide and generate electricity for 61 cities. And all of that is done as a not-for-profit organization. So the rates to IMPA are generally lower than all investor-owned utilities. We have a 10-acre solar park. It has approximately 4,000 solar panels. On a bright day like today with sunshine, it's generating approximately 1.3 megawatts of electricity. That's approximately enough electricity at any given time to power 230 some homes. So it's a very big asset for Middletown. It goes directly into our power grid. When you're in a small city with 2,200 people, the budget isn't there to allow a lot of things to be done. So if you want to grow as a community, if you want to provide things that are attractive to the people that live there, and people in other cities say, wow, that's probably not a bad place to go live, because look at all the things they have. We have a 6-mile rail trail right now. We have a local access channel. We have a tremendous historical society. We have a local civic center. I mean, we have all of these things, and the point is you got to let people know about them. The local access channel, I run, we call it MLAC, Middletown Local Access Channel, and it was started back in the late 90s when I convinced a cable system at the time that owned our system to provide us the opportunity to have one of the channels. You're not going to find many towns with 2,200 people that have their local access channel. It's just kind of unheard of. When this beautiful building, the Historical Society, put together, when they had their grand opening, I had a camera set up in here. Everybody that came in here and was looking around was going out live over a local access channel. If we had a lost child or some immediate problem, I could literally have it on the local access channel by taking a picture of the child, putting it down on a board, pushing the camera on, and it's on in a matter of 30 seconds. It's being broadcast on our local access channel. There's one volunteer, and that's pretty much it. Actually, all of the work that I am doing and on a volunteer basis all started when our business was going in full swing. My wife Sandy and I own a business. It's called Roseco Safety. It's a OSHA compliance consulting business. We do safety consulting services. One of our largest customers is apartment buildings throughout the United States. I still speak a lot of places. I do a lot of training for people, and we put a lot of written safety programs together for large and small companies. As we have traveled in our business for 32 years, the nicest thing about traveling all those years was coming home to Middletown. It's a good feeling. You feel safe here. My wife and I moved here about 90 days after we got married, and have lived here ever since. Have lived in the same house for 42 years. A lot of people in this town volunteer. If there's something you're interested in, you can probably go out and find something to volunteer for. I learned giving back from my father. My dad was a great guy, and he volunteered a lot. Our family owned a small corner grocery store, and every year, even though the year may not have been great money-wise, my dad donated baskets at Thanksgiving and at Christmas to the Salvation Army, and that did something to me. We try to donate as much as we can to the food pantry. We have a great food pantry here in Middletown. You have to give back. If you don't give back, then, nothing can grow. Nothing can stay great in the community. If everybody gives back, then the community thrives.
My name's Dan Fountain. I'm on the Middletown Town Council, and I was assigned to be over the Civic Center. Well, the Civic Center is a place where the community can rent the space of the Civic Center for banquets, birthdays, any kind of get-togethers. The building, it was actually donated to the town by Murray and Mary Templeton. And when the town got that building, they formed a committee, a group, and they just worked hours and hours on this. And they were able to obtain a grant. I believe the grant was, that cost for the renovation of the building was close to $500,000. It was very expensive. But that building's been there a long, long time. I mean, there used to be a barber shop in the basement. There was a door in the front between the two main doors that's there now that just went downstairs into that barber shop. But there's a lot of history there where there was a lot of stuff, a lot of different businesses in that building. I think it's very important because Middletown is such a small town, and it's got that Mayberry atmosphere. A lot of people know each other. A lot of people know the people from the past. I mean, this historical society is just full of decades and decades of families and individuals that made a difference in Middletown. And this building is part of that history of downtown. We take pride in honoring those that are no longer here. We have banners downtown that shows servicemen that was killed in action. We honored a gentleman here in town, Marty Ballard, who passed away. He was a big contributor in Middletown with his volunteering and the wall that heals, that travels around the United States. It came here to Middletown, not once but twice, and that was because of Marty. And we honored Marty with a street sign downtown, making it Marty Ballard Way. This is my second term. It's just an honor to be able to be on the town council. What stands out with our town council is that it's not about us, it's about the community. Middletown has a large base of people volunteering. I think that's a big difference here, is because we get a lot done, and it's because of the people taking pride in what they're doing. The park and the school system is just wonderful. My granddaughter, it's just so much fun seeing her down at the park. We have a splash pad there that people from all over come to Middletown for. I just think this is the best place if you have a family and you want to raise your children. I'd say come to Middletown because this is it.
My name's Bill Hoyt, and I've lived in Middletown for 35 to 40 years, and I'm the immediate past president of the Middletown Lions Club. The Lions Club is a service organization. It's a worldwide, organization. You start out with your local, and we got district, state, country, and then international. And we just do service, try to do service for the community. I think for us, we just have a pretty dedicated amount of people. They like the community. They support the community, and I think they know that to be in the Lions Club helps keep the community going. The events we do during the year, our main thing is we do the fair. I think that's the biggest thing happens in town all year. It's a week-long fair. It's a free admission. People can come in. On Tuesdays is probably the biggest day because we have a parade, and everybody comes out for the parade. Thursday nights is fireworks night, so everybody comes out Thursday nights because we have fireworks. That's kind of our 4th of July, but we have fireworks that night. I think about the whole area winds up showing up at the fair at some point in time. I mean, it's not just Middletown, it's the little towns out surrounding us, but and for the most part, about everybody in town comes down to the fair. And that's the big things that happen. We do a couple of breakfasts to raise money, but there's just a lot of other things that we do that support the community, that doesn't raise money. A lot of times it's really not too hard to get people to volunteer to help with it. Like I say, most of the people we have, they're Lions Club members, and they're there to help and do the stuff. Like we run the kitchen, you got a lot of people working in the kitchen, sell tickets. So in our small town, so far we've had enough people that keep joining, and they know it's a volunteer thing because you don't get paid for any of it, but it's all volunteer, and I think they understand that you need to have people doing that. So that's probably why we have kept going for as long as we have. The people support our club by showing up to the events. It's like the Easter egg hunt. They come down, they're gonna support that. The kids have a blast. They fill the park. They come down, pick everything up that we spread out. So the people support us by being there and helping us. We like to have fun. Meetings can be boring, so we have fun. I think that helps keep people coming. We do goofy things, I dress up, things like that. We give away some prizes at things, but having fun is one thing that just makes being in the Lions Club and the things that we do makes it more interesting and it's just more enjoyable. My favorite part of the Lions Club here in Middletown is probably, it's the fun that we have and the satisfaction I get out of helping, being, serving people, doing the things that we do to help the community, the kids in the community, the people in the community, and the things like that. I think that's the favorite part for me for being in the Lions Club. It's just, you get a satisfaction out of helping. You know you've done something to help your community and make it better, make it the best place you can make it.
Where will Now Entering travel next? If you would like to see your town featured on an upcoming episode of our Now Entering series, please visit ballstatepbs.org/nowentering for more information.
Wonderful stories we are hearing out of Middletown. What a warm, fun, maybe a little goofy place to live sometimes.
They are having some fun at that Lions Club.
They are. I
It
love
makes
the
you
photos.
see all of that and you want to get involved.
Absolutely.
Great stories already this evening.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon Smith. I'm here with Michelle Kinsey. We're taking a quick break from the program. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight for Now Entering Middletown, the newest episode in our Now Entering series. We want to remind you that besides watching us on TV, we're also streaming on ballstatepbs.org and on Facebook. Feel free to drop a comment with the hashtag NEMiddletown. And a big thanks to all of you who've called in with your support. Let's take a moment to read some names and some comments. Michelle, the Fisher family is watching online. Hello to the Fisher family.
Hello. And you mentioned online and Facebook. A lot of people are watching on Facebook. We want even more people to join in the fun. The great part about that is everybody comments and they start saying what they liked about certain stories. And, oh, I remember this person and that person. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Paula is enjoying the show. Thank you so much, Paula, for watching. And hello to Lori, who's watching in Winchester.
Excellent. Hello, Lori.
And a huge thank you to our amazing community sponsors. Kiesling Farms, Tanya Bennett State Farm, Indiana Municipal Power Agency, John Rhodes Realty, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, First Merchants Bank, and Middletown Fall Creek Historical Society.
We want to thank our presenting sponsors, the Town of Middletown and Ballard & Sons Funeral Home. We also want to thank our premium presenting sponsors, Marty Dulworth Remax Real Estate Solutions, BCW Supplies, and Individual Support Services.
Serving all of East Central Indiana, Individual Support Home Health and Individual Support Services provide in-home community and residential services. From homemaking to skilled nursing care, all services are available daily, ranging from 1 to 24 hours.
Marty Dulworth, Remax Real Estate Solutions, is a full-time realtor helping individuals in East Central Indiana navigate the real estate market through the home buying and or selling process. Marty Dulworth, Remax Real Estate Solutions, is proud to support programs on Ball State PBS.
The phones behind me have been buzzing with activity with viewers like you calling in to support the unique programming you can only find here on Ball State PBS, but we could get them ringing a little bit more. Give us a call now at 1-800-252-9472 or go online at ballstatepbs.org.
The Now Entering series gives us a chance to explore and learn more about what makes each of your hometowns unique. East Central Indiana is a region rich in history and vibrant communities. Ball State PBS is proud to serve our audience by providing local programs like Now Entering, along with your PBS favorites. Some of the storytellers from Middletown may look a little familiar because they're on the phone bank tonight and are eager to hear from you right now. One of our storytellers is waiting to talk with Dr. Phil Hoffman about the experience of making Now Entering Middletown. Let's hear from them now. Phil?
Thank you, Michelle. We're here. Call us right now, 800-252-9472. I got a VIP sitting next to me. This is Dan Fountain. Dan is a man of many talents. Dan, not only are you on town council, you're also with the Historical Society, so you do a lot all around Middletown, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do a lot of volunteering.
And you were one of the folks, every time we come to a town, we have to find people in that town who will get behind this idea of telling the story of the town, and you were one of the people that really got behind it. What made you interested in telling the story and helping us do this program about Middletown?
Well, the history of Middletown, it goes so far back, and there's so many people involved in the history of Middletown, and it's just a great place to live. We got a great school system, great park. We just have a lot of events through the year. The Christmas parade is coming up this weekend. And it's just a great place for the kids and families to raise their children.
Now, is there anything in the process of, I'm guessing it's not every day that you're working on a television program, right? So was there anything in the process that kind of surprised you in terms of how this all happens and everything that comes together?
Oh, it was just so interesting on the cameras and the staff. Your staff is great, and they help you through this. And it's just very interesting seeing something that you've never seen before with the broadcast system.
And we love to tell stories like we're doing tonight with you all. Like, for example, the gas station. How awesome is that, right? Like, that's a real throwback to have something like that in your town and still have a guy that's been there forever, right?
Yeah, it's the only gas station in Indiana that I know of that you can still drive up and hear the bell, have somebody come out there and fill the tank up with gas, and wash your windows while you wait.
It's one of the great things as we tell stories about towns throughout Indiana, towns like Middletown. You don't always get a lot of attention, and we talk about this a lot, right? You get attention if something bad happens, sometimes in places, but you don't always get attention for the things that are the really interesting stories, the everyday things that happen all the time that people love about living in Middletown. What obviously you've been in Middletown a long time. What do you love about living in Middletown?
I think it's the people and the atmosphere that you get in a small town. I'm not saying Middletown is the only place that you can go to, but it is the place that I live and people I know live, and we just love Middletown the way it is today.
Well, Dan, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
And Dan is a man of many talents, as I said earlier, so you'll see him somewhere in town, guaranteed. In the meantime, if you don't call us at 800-252-9472, he will find you.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Dan. You know, on Ball State PBS, you discover programs that cover a vast array of news and information, arts and culture, drama, and local programs like this one, where we're learning all about our neighbors in Middletown. It's something Ball State PBS provides every day. Insight and experiences from your community and from around the world. Member support like yours is crucial as we plan more local programs, outreach, and initiatives. By calling right now and making your financial contribution, you ensure that we will continue to bring you this kind of quality programming. Join us online at ballstatepbs.org or call 1-800-252-9472.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
Everyone can benefit from access to educational experiences and trusted stories from diverse perspectives. When you make your donation online or over the phone, you're ensuring that everyone has access to the programs and resources here on Ball State PBS. If you're already a member, thank you for making all of these experiences available for everyone in our community. If not, this is a great time. Please make your contribution right now at 1-800-252-9472 or go to ballstatepbs.org. Now it's time to head back over to Phil to talk with another storyteller.
Thank you, Michelle. We are here with Ron, and Ron wants you to call 800-252-9472. We saw Ron a little bit earlier in the program. Of course, you know Ron. It works for IMPA, the Municipal Power Association, and also runs the local access channel there. So everybody knows this guy. Ron, welcome. We appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to come over here.
Now tell us a little bit about how you found out about this whole program and what made you decide to participate.
I was contacted through Dan, who was just on here, and I told him I'd be really interested in helping. I've done a lot of video production work in the past, and I love being around that atmosphere. You have absolutely fantastic people here at Ball State to work with, and the opportunity to work with them has been great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to Sarah, who's the producer of this program. Doesn't always get the camera time, but she's the one that makes it all happen, so thank you for that. So you obviously have a background working with the electrical aspect for the city, and we saw that great big solar field, right? When you talk about how much power that provides, I think they said a couple hundred.
It's 1.3 megawatts.
Yes, and so that's a couple hundred houses, is that right?
Yeah, it would do all the electric for about 200 houses at full production.
So when you think about that relative to the size of Middletown, like how much of the town can run off of that?
Well, we've got about 1,400 electric meters in town.
Okay.
So it's a smaller portion, but one of the things that IMPA has to be careful of in these solar parks is we don't want to put electric back out on the grid because it becomes an issue for us with some other problems. So it's been really great to get that solar park. I'd wanted one for a long time for Middletown, and when I had the opportunity to go to IMPA and say, hey, you know, this land's here, we know the land's there, let's get something going. And I mean, once they got going, it just went. There was just no argument. We'll do this. They bought the ground. I mean, it was fantastic. IMPA is a great organization. They're providing our power at a lower cost and reliable, and you can't ask for any more than that.
Well, and one of the other interesting things, just as your side job, if you will, right, you also run the local access channel, which I know from my history, like that's pretty common with municipal power associations, right? So tell us a little bit about what the purpose is behind the local access channel.
Well, the local access channel, it was actually started from the franchise fees we get. It was about 24, 25 years ago we put it together. We went through 3 cable TV systems since then, and they've all been supportive of it, and that's great because they provide us the bandwidth, the channel to put everything out on. And you know, we don't have a lot of individual programs, but we do get a lot of announcements out and things that helps the community out. And before long, we hope to have all the town board meetings on the local access channel.
That's great. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Ron.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you being here and everything you do to power Middletown, so thank you for that. Give us a call right now, 800-252-9472. If you love to hear these small town Indiana stories, that's the way you help support it, make more of it happen. Now let's go back to Brandon and Michelle.
Thanks, Phil. Remember, we're also streaming live, so if you have friends or family that don't live in our viewing area, they can watch us online at ballstatepbs.org or on our Facebook page. We'd love for you to make a comment and share your memories or stories of Middletown, or just say hi at hashtag NE Middletown. We actually had a couple of Facebook people.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so Sherry Erlinson hopped on Facebook, said, I love my little town and everyone in it. Sherry, thanks for watching tonight.
Love that. Julie Pursley on Facebook says, it's great to see our great little town on PBS. We agree. And Jenna simply said, great program. We couldn't agree more, Jenna. In fact, let's get back to the program right now.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fields, and I'm here to talk about the influence that high school basketball had on our small town here in Middletown. It was magic. I know as we think back, we tend to embellish things sometimes, but the scene was wonderful. We'd had bonfires, sirens would go off, the fire trucks would be out and around. Quite a celebration when you win a sectional. And our coach, who is a Hall of Fame coach, his name is Vaughn Jameson, had 5 sectional winners in the 17 years he was here. Our gyms were always packed. Our turnout was wonderful. We have a little mezzanine up in the gym. It seated around 1,300 people. They moved the band out of the bleachers and put them up on the stage so we could seat more people. So yeah, I've seen standing room only out there many, many times in the years I played. I came along at a time, I was fortunate enough to play basketball in high school, and I came along at a time where we had 2 sectional winners. Now, we won a sectional my freshman year, won the first game in the regional, got beat by Muncie Central, who was a powerhouse in Indiana in high school basketball at that time. My junior year, we again won the sectional at Newcastle and got beat by Muncie Central in a double overtime final game in the regional. So we never quite made it to the Sweet 16, but we came close. I think still basketball is very important to Middletown. It kind of brings people together, brings families together. And although the team isn't called Middletown any longer, the Middletown Cossacks, that was our nickname. It's the Shenandoah Raiders. A Cossack is a Russian soldier, a Russian horse soldier. Very brutal, I guess you'd say, known as great fighters. The coach and the town team had so much success for a small school. I mean, winning 5 sectionals in 12 years is unheard of at a school our size. It was quite a foundation to build upon. Indiana basketball is just so strong still. Girls and boys, the girls basketball is strong now, the boys also. So still a big following, still big crowds. My junior year, winning the sectional and then coming so close to going to the Sweet 16 would be my favorite memory of my high school basketball career. And the friendships that I've been privileged to establish in that time. Still, to this day, I'm very close with some of the former teammates and managers and just the people that attended. All I have to do is think about it, and that old feeling, that old memory is there. And I still attend a lot of basketball games. I'll go to different games around the state. I have a group that meets me over here at the Historical Society every Friday, and invariably, old basketball games are brought up. We'll put on a pot of coffee and sit down and solve all the world's problems, but we still talk about the old Middletown basketball teams. And I think the excitement is still there. Just different times, different people in different ways, but high school basketball for sure. The excitement's still there in Middletown.
My name's David Kiesling, and I farm full-time. I've been farming since I was 13. I just enjoyed farming. It was something that was around our community quite a bit, and I enjoyed helping other farmers. And so that got me interested in it to try to make it an occupation. I really enjoy it. I was farming my dad's place and had another local farmer that stopped by. I was using some very small equipment back in that day, and he wanted to know if I wanted to help him, and then I could use his equipment. So that's kind of how I got started. You could see what you're growing and watch it grow, and it's interesting to put a seed in the ground or plants in the ground and then kind of take care of them. And it's something different every day, different challenges. It's not doing the same thing over and over. Well, we started the tomatoes in 1997, and it was a way to make more of a profit, a better profit than what the corn and beans were doing at that time. Well, generally, we can ship about 230 tons of tomatoes a day. We farm approximately 2,000 acres. We have people now that come out and help us. People that ride the harvester, tomato harvester, and we have truck drivers. All of our truck drivers are from Middletown, actually, or close, not just Middletown, but the community. Red Gold is Indiana-based, privately owned. They do all kind of canned tomatoes, and then we started growing in 1997 for them, and it's a family business also. They have different qualifications that you need to meet, but it's hard to get in. They've only got a certain number of growers because they only need a specific amount of acres to grow the tomatoes on. I feel proud that we have been able to accomplish what we have, and it's taken a lot of years, but Red Gold has recognized that. I mean, choosing us to be involved in some of their commercials, I guess, is be proud of that.
At Red Gold, family makes a difference.
I'm most proud of our family. I've got 2 daughters, and all of our family lives probably within half a mile of each other. It's that family atmosphere that I enjoy and my wife enjoys. We've got our grandkids close by, and that's what really makes it worth it all. My oldest daughter is a physician's assistant, but she also helps in the office. She does a lot of our book work for us. She's our office manager. And then my youngest daughter is a doctor. With a community that know us and are willing to put up with a lot of what goes on in the tomato business, that I'm not sure we could farm anywhere else.
Hi, my name is Miranda Jones. I am the market master to the Middletown Farmers Market. I'm a move-in. I moved here about 9 years ago. My husband is from Southern Indiana. I'm from Northern Indiana. So when we decided to move back to Indiana from Ohio, where we currently were, this is where we ended up, right in the middle, in Middletown. Working here in town and meeting the locals, a friend of mine who was running the farmers market at the time asked me to help her out. And she's like, hey, can you just help me? And I said, yeah, happily. And next thing I know, I'm running it. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. Okay, so we are every Friday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. I wanted the Middletown Farmers Market to be different and stand out versus the other markets around us. Everyone else is Saturday mornings, so we wanted to be different. It's not for everybody, but it brings in a different crowd. You can come have dinner, you can relax after a full week of work and not have to stress when you get home. It's a good family environment to come and spend your evening versus having to get up early on Saturday mornings. We want to take pride in our local entrepreneurs. So every vendor either grows or makes their own products, at least 50% of their own products. So nothing is mass produced or anything like that. Everything is homegrown or homemade at our market. I think one thing that makes our market special compared to others is we have a lot of artists and crafts. We have one vendor that started out making metal artwork and then he realized that unique earrings sell. So he sells more earrings than he sells metal art, which is what brought him to the market. Or I have a baker who every single week has a different theme. She totally changes out her whole inventory every week and brings a different style to the market. I have a cotton candy lady that shows up and has the most unique flavors to her cotton candy that people thrive over. So I mean, that's what makes our market different is we have more than just produce at our farmers market. We have such a wide variety. Yes, we have produce, but we have so much more. We love having special promotion nights. Every fourth Friday, we do a pet night. So we have a local groomer that comes out and does nail trimmings, as well as local adoption agencies come out and bring pets that are adoptable. We do a kids night every year. It's typically when school ends. We add free entertainment and things like that for kids. Every second Friday of the month, we do a Young Entrepreneurs Night. So we encourage young entrepreneurs to come out and set up with the rest of us. So a lot of the young entrepreneurs, it varies. We get a lot of jewelry. A lot of girls like to make bracelets and rings and things like that. But we have had girls that come in and sell flower bouquets, boys that want to sell painted rocks, and all that kind of thing. So we encourage them to come and set up just along with the rest of us vendors and feel as if they're taking part just like the rest of us. I personally have 2 little girls. They get excited about those nights. They want to sell things themselves, and they spend every market with me for the most part, as well as other vendors bring in their kids. We pride the Middletown Farmers Market on being family friendly. My kids, they come in, any other kids that show up at the market, they're like, hey, we're the greeting committee, come on hang out with us. And they welcome every kid that shows up at that market. And they're like, we have a club, come be in the club. And they pretty much just take them and hang out. I take pride in the market and I make sure that my schedule, I'm able to do the market. So I work part-time as well as being a mom, and I make sure that my schedule and my employers know how much the market means to me and they understand that, and so they make sure that I am off and I'm available to run that market. Well, I do both. I am the market master and I do a vendor booth out there as well. So I am in the trenches per se with all the rest of my vendors. I'm out there doing just as much hard work as they are. I would like to think that gives me the perspective of a vendor, and I can think like a vendor, and so when it's 104 degrees and we have no shade, I can say, is this worth it to us as vendors, not just for the market per se, and determine on those kind of conditions if it's worth having the market on those nights or not. It was a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. It's a full-time commitment on my end to keep it going with advertisements, vendors, things like that, but it's something I enjoy because it brings the community together. The people that make Middletown is what is special about Middletown. I love Middletown because of the sense of community. We came into this town and knew nobody, and in 9 years, this is home. I wouldn't want to leave.
My name is Chloe Lemons, and I'm the co-president of Middletown Planning Committee. Middletown Planning Committee basically started when I showed up to the town council meeting, basically to complain that Middletown didn't have enough events going on in the community like all of these surrounding communities do. At the end of that meeting, someone reached out to me and said, hey, my wife would love to do something with you guys because she feels the exact same way. That woman would be Kirsten Smith, who is also co-president with me. So we started talking and decided the best way to tackle this issue would be creating a group that plans events specifically for our community. Middletown Planning Committee is trying to create a greater sense of community by bringing everyone together with our events. The main events that we've done would be our Earth Day cleanup, our 4th of July fireworks show, Halloween, Christmas market, and then we also have done some kid events like a kids block party and a family field day. Our first year we went to 3 different parks within our community to pick up trash, clean up the flower beds, put down mulch. We eventually ended up cleaning up the trail as well on our first year, pulling out tires, furniture, carpet, had several hundred pounds of debris from that. This past year we decided we were going to tackle an old business's dump site along the trail. So our volunteers basically went down in this ravine to remove over 65 tires. We filled up a commercial trash can full of trash and building materials. Halloween is kind of a combination event between fall, people that love fall, and those Halloween lovers. So it's a family-friendly event where we have a ghost hunting team that comes out, tells us about their adventures, shows us their equipment, and kind of the footage that they've received from their ghost hunting. And we will have Halloween vendors with kind of spooky things that people can buy. We have trunk or treating, games for the kids. Kids can wear their costumes. We have crafts. So it's just kind of a family fun event. We rely very heavily on our volunteers for their time. We have people that donate financially or donate supplies and materials to us. The community is always thrilled that we at least do these events. So as long as that we have the resources and the volunteers to make those things happen, we try to do that for the community. So last year was our first year taking control of the Christmas market. We did it at the Lions Club building down at the park, and we were able to secure about 16 vendors and totally fill up the building. We had tons of vendors of all different types for people to do their Christmas shopping, grab hot chocolate. We also set up a luminary walk along the trail to lead people from the fire station over to the park. I think Middletown is special just because we don't operate like a normal community. People do want to see our community get better and bigger. One of the things I like about my community is that we are working to grow and improve. And us community members have a hand in that. I love Middletown because it's a smaller community where there's a lot of room for growth, so each person's impact is much larger and I can actually have a hand in changing what Middletown does and improving things.
Wow. You know how you can tell that people love their community? They will create a committee to plan events for that community. That's fantastic. I have really enjoyed these stories tonight, Middletown. I have learned so much. Thank you for joining us this evening for Now Entering Middletown. I'm Michelle Kinsey along with Brandon Smith, and we are coming to you from the Ball State PBS studios on the campus of Ball State University. We're having a great time hearing stories from our friends in Middletown, Indiana.
We are here tonight celebrating local stories, your stories, with Now Entering Middletown. This kind of show is unique to public television. It's really what sets us apart. No commercial station is going to take a deep dive into your community to share stories of your history from your friends and neighbors. You know, local stories play an important part of exploring and understanding our world. Ball State PBS is proud to bring this program to life.
Your stories matter, and so does your support. Call 1-800-252-9472 or go online to ballstatepbs.org, and one of the great Middletown volunteers behind us on our phone bank will happily take your call. We want to take a moment right now and thank those of you who have called in with your gift to Ball State PBS. I'll start us off. Yep. Terry from Yorktown, thank you so much for calling and supporting programs like Now Entering.
Excellent. And a big thanks to Richard from Middletown for your gift. Thanks for watching tonight, Richard.
And Debbie Webb, she said she really enjoyed working with the people in Middletown. Thank you so much to Debbie and everyone else watching who has already made that call or gone online to support Now Entering and other great programs on Ball State PBS.
Keep posting your comments at #NEMiddletown. We love hearing from you, and if you have friends or family who can't watch the show on TV, we are streaming the show live on ballstatepbs.org and Facebook. Stories like these can only be told by your local PBS station, Ball State PBS. Help support the station that brings you such powerful local storytelling by making a contribution right now. We make it easy for you. You choose the amount, you choose if you'd like a thank you gift, and you choose how you'd like to pay. Don't put off making that call. Now is the time to show your love for your hometown of Middletown and your local PBS station. Your financial support really does make a difference. Call 1-800-252-9472 or go online ballstatepbs.org.
Yes, so keep those phones ringing and let us know you value Ball State PBS. 800-252-9472 is the number to call right now, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
And with your contribution, you can take advantage of a special member benefit called PBS Passport. Passport brings you thousands of hours of great PBS and local programs whenever and wherever you want on the PBS app, your streaming player, phone, or tablet. It's just another one of the great benefits of supporting Ball State PBS.
How long have you been watching Ball State PBS? Maybe you started out as a kid or watching with your kids shows like Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, or a favorite at our house, The Wildcrats. Or maybe you discovered the great dramas on Masterpiece or the in-depth news on PBS NewsHour. Maybe you learned how to cook with Julia Child, or maybe you learned something new about your world on Nature or Nova. Hopefully tonight you learned a little more about your neighbors in Middletown, Indiana. Whether you've been watching all your life or you're new to Ball State PBS, you know that these programs are worth watching. Become a member today. Call now, 1-800-252-9472, or go online at ballstatepbs.org.
Supporting Ball State PBS is a community investment that produces rich cultural and educational rewards. Your generous support allows us to create and distribute the very best in television and online content that educates and engages. Whether you're a passionate fan who wants to support your favorite program, a parent who gives because you trust us to provide quality, kid-friendly programs, or a viewer who contributes so everyone can enjoy arts and culture, you are helping Ball State PBS serve all of East Central Indiana. Every contribution keeps public media independent, creative, and strong. Call 1-800-252-9472 or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
Ball State PBS promotes a love of learning and stories that matter. The Now Entering series allows us to go into the communities we serve to find those unique stories and bring them to you, told through the voices of the people who live there. It provides a special opportunity for community volunteers to share their town's unique history, organizations, culture, schools, attractions, local folklore, and more. If you're enjoying this great local program, let us know by making that call of support. 1-800-252-9472 or go online at ballstatepbs.org. These enthusiastic volunteers behind me are waiting to hear from you.
Yes, we want to hear from you. We're going to take just a moment to thank Tammy Starkey, who says, so very proud of all of these individuals for making Middletown a great place to live. Tammy, thanks so much for taking the time to comment on Facebook. We want to read your comments. So go on Facebook, give us a call right now. We've got some people, you want to hear from people, don't you? Yeah, they are ready to take your phone calls. Thanks to the support of Ball State PBS members just like you, we can continue to bring these local stories to our audience. Make that call now, 800-252-9572, or go online at ballstatepbs.org.
And we want to take a moment again to thank our generous community sponsors. A huge thanks to our amazing community sponsors that include Kiesling Farms, Tanya Bennett State Farm, Indiana Municipal Power Agency, John Rhodes Realty, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, First Merchants Bank, and Middletown Fall Creek Historical Society. We want to thank our presenting sponsors, the town of Middletown and Ballard & Sons Funeral Home. And we want to thank our premium presenting sponsors, Marty Dulworth RE/MAX Real Estate Solutions, BCW Supplies, and Individual Support Services.
BCW helps collectors secure, organize, and fully enjoy their collectibles, keeping them protected and valued for years to come. For over 40 years, BCW has specialized in accessories to safeguard trading cards, comics, coins, and vinyl records.
A big thanks again to all of our sponsors. You know, everyone has a story to tell, and we heard some great ones in that last segment. Thanks for joining us for Now Entering Middletown tonight on Ball State PBS. I'm Brandon Smith, along with Michelle Kinsey, and we're so happy you're here with us to celebrate stories from Middletown.
Thanks to the people and town of Middletown for participating in this series. We've enjoyed such a variety of stories this evening, and you can enjoy the stories anytime with your own copy of tonight's program. This special thank you gift is our way of celebrating your support of Now Entering Middletown. All you have to do is call and talk to one of these amazing volunteers behind us. 1-800-252-9472 is the number to call, or you can go online to ballstatepbs.org. Now let's see who we've heard from tonight. Jack Ringberg. He says, very simply, I'm loving these stories. Jack, we completely agree. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for commenting on Facebook.
And a big thank you to Wes Bennett, who says, awesome show! Exclamation point. Wes, I couldn't agree. It's a great show this evening.
Simple, to the point, very effective.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks to all of you who have called in and for sharing, supporting, and being part of viewing experiences that you'll only find on Ball State PBS.
You know, the mission of Ball State PBS is powered by our common spirit, the spirit of public service and community enrichment. Ball State PBS is here for all ages and backgrounds, from the tiny tots to grandparents and everyone in between. If it's quality television with impact, you know you will find it on Ball State PBS. But we need your support to keep this programming on Ball State PBS. Programs that you can't find anywhere else, like the Now Entering series. Ball State PBS is proud to be your station for local stories. Call now, 1-800-252-9472, or go online at ballstatepbs.org.
Part fundraiser, part community builder, part historical and cultural documentary, and part day in the life video scrapbook, Now Entering shares the local legends, historical happenings, and backyard secrets of our towns. Ball State PBS believes in serving our communities, and we do this through engagement activities like our Ready to Learn camps, Be My Neighbor Day, Happy Little Fest, and through local programming. You can support this work by becoming a member now.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution, and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
And don't forget, with your qualifying donation, you will have access to PBS Passport, an on-demand library of PBS programs you can watch when you want, and it's available only to members. It's a one-of-a-kind benefit that comes with supporting Ball State PBS. Don't wait. Call 1-800-252-9472 or go online at ballstatepbs.org.
An easy way to support Ball State PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. As a sustaining member, you never have to worry about renewing your support. You sign up to have your contribution automatically deducted from your bank account or credit card, and then it's all set. It only takes a few minutes. Call now 800-252-9472 or go online to ballstatepbs.org to let us know you support the shows only Ball State PBS can bring you, like Now Entering.
One of the best parts about producing programs like Now Entering is getting to meet our neighbors, and I believe Phil is ready to talk with one of them right now. Phil?
Thanks, Brandon. Call us right now, 800-252-9472. Become a member. This is your last chance. If you live in Middletown, everybody's going to be back in town tomorrow, and they'll be walking around, and they'll know whether you called that number or not. So you want to call right now, 800-252-9472. I'm joined this evening by Chris Harder, who is, as you learned earlier, from the Belgian Horse Winery.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir. Thank you very much.
Let's talk a little bit about your family's been on that property since 1836. What does that mean to you?
It means everything to me. I grew up about a mile away, so my great-grandma lived there when I was a kid, so, I would go down there and spend a lot of time. Whenever I'm there, I just feel really connected to that property, to the community, the people there. We've built something really nice, and even though it's slightly outside of town, it's still, a big part of the community, I think, so.
Now, one of the things you were talking about earlier is, it's not just a winery. Right? You have events and shows, and there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah. We host live music every Wednesday. Like right now, there's a concert going on indoors. We have food trucks in the summertime. We try to do two or three food trucks depending on the size of the crowd. And we do a sweet truck, ice cream or shaved ice or something like that. And then we have pizzas as well. We've got a great kitchen manager, great bar staff, a great general manager. Just get great service, eat some yummy food, grab some wine, a wine slushy.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, wine slushy.
We've got a Grinch wine slushy right now. It's a green apple with red sugar on top with whipped cream. It's really good. We're kind of known for our wine slushies. So.
Now, Chris, like everybody else in town, it seems like, you can't be happy just doing one thing, which is a big thing, but you also do some volunteer work that we were talking about earlier. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm the co-director for the Miracle League of Henry County. It's one of my favorite things that I do. It's just an amazing program full of the most amazing volunteers. It's a baseball league for mentally and physically disabled people. There's no age restrictions either way. We're located in Newcastle, so Middletown feeds into that program as well. It's just, there's nothing better than watching somebody overcome what they've been dealt and have a lot of fun in the meantime, gaining friends, and it's just such an amazing organization.
And you were saying earlier you can keep batting until you eventually hit that ball, right?
Yeah, it's nothing better than seeing somebody swing and miss 5-6 times, and then on that 7th try, they hit a good one. The crowd goes wild, and then you just see them light up. It's the coolest thing.
I wish I could have done that when I was playing baseball. Unfortunately, they didn't let me do that.
Baseball's tough, man.
So when you think about a program like this coming to Middletown and telling these stories, how important is this to you in terms of just getting the word out about Middletown?
That's huge. That's what I was talking to them earlier about it. It's just, we're so lucky to have something like this bring awareness to our small town. We've got a lot of great people in our community and a lot of great businesses. They just need a little extra spotlight maybe from people like you guys, and we're really thankful for that too. So.
Well, we're thankful you made time to be here tonight, Chris. Thank you. There's a concert literally happening as we speak. So if you're in Middletown, after you call 800-252-9472, go to the concert. And now, here's Brandon and Michelle.
Thanks so much, Phil. Belgian Horse is one of my favorite places to see live music, and now I'm craving a wine slushie. So there's that. Ball State PBS has been a part of the community for more than 50 years. Think back for a moment to all the places you've been and the experiences you've had with Ball State PBS through that time. We've taken you on a deep dive into subjects you want to learn more about with Nova and nature. given you the best seat in the house with masterpiece and great performances, and provided your kids opportunities to explore new ideas and new friends with programs like Molly of Denali and Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Ball State PBS is a trusted community resource that you've come to rely on. Call now to make sure that we can continue to bring you the programs you count on. 1-800-252-9472 or go to ballstatepbs.org.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org.
If you haven't made that call, there is still time. Thanks again to all the sponsors who support this program, and thanks to all of you who called in and joined the Ball State PBS family tonight to support the programming you love.
If you are currently a member of Ball State PBS, whether you give every month or every year, thank you. Every contribution you make to this station strengthens our community by ensuring that everyone has access to the resources here on Ball State PBS. Your membership allows us to provide programming you trust, programming that informs and entertains, programming that makes a difference.
Thanks again to the wonderful residents of Middletown for sharing your stories. And if you haven't made that call yet tonight, we've got more thanks to give. Bring in the cards. Bring in the cards.
Bring it in.
If you haven't made that call for tonight, Ball State PBS really would love to hear from you to help support the local programs you can only see here. There is still time. Call 1-800-252-9472. Go online, ballstatepbs.org. You want to give a thanks?
Oh, I'm going to give a thanks. Be like Bill Lance. He says the show was enjoyable. I want to visit more. I love Middletown.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
What a wonderful sentiment. We agree, Bill. If you agree with Bill, now is the time to call. And don't forget that special thank you gift, your own copy of tonight's program. Make that call now.
Now Entering is a special local program because it's your town, your stories told by you. We hope that you've enjoyed learning more about Middletown. And if you want to see your town on the show, let us know. Watch for our next Now Entering episode featuring, should we, a drum roll? Fairmount.
Hey!
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thank you for supporting your local PBS station, Ball State PBS.
When you call with your gift of just $5 a month, we'll send you a DVD of tonight's Now Entering program. Become a member with a $10 monthly contribution, and we'll send you the DVD plus a Ball State PBS tote. The DVD features stories not seen in tonight's program, as well as behind-the-scenes footage of production day. All you have to do is call 800-252-9472 and talk to one of our volunteers, or go online to ballstatepbs.org. Now Entering Middletown is presented by Marty Dilworth RE/MAX Real Estate Solutions, BCW Supplies, Individual Support Services, Town of Middletown, and Ballard & Sons Funeral Home. With additional support from Kiesling Farms, Tanya Bennett State Farm, Indiana Municipal Power Agency, John Rhodes Realty, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, First Merchants Bank, and Middletown Fall Creek Historical Society.
Ballard & Sons Funeral Home and Cremation Services offers a range of services from burial to cremation to pre-planning to fully customized funerals. Ballard & Sons prides themselves on serving families in Middletown, Daleville, and surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion.
Middletown, Indiana offers small-town living within easy reach of metropolitan amenities. Middletown prides itself on schools, public library, and supportive community culture. Middletown's Dietrich Park, splash pad, walking trails, and baseball and softball diamonds are a popular recreation venue.
Serving all of East Central Indiana, Individual Support Home Health and Individual Support Services provide in-home community and residential services. From homemaking to skilled nursing care, all services are available daily, ranging from 1 to 24 hours.